my volt-ohm meter wasn't working correctly. Actually, it didn't seem like it wanted to come on. So I opened it up and look at what I found. You see it? Anyway, right here, the battery, that part's corroded, and when I went to pull it out of here, it just pulled apart right there. And that tells me beyond a doubt that battery is shot. Kind of makes me want to open the battery and look and see what's inside of it, but I don't really think I need to do that right here. Maybe I could do that some other time. But I did notice that right there is a fuse, and then right there is a spare fuse, which is good. And then this right here says, caution, do not use on high energy circuits. I wonder what it considers to be a high energy circuit. So before I can use my volt-ohm meter, I'm going to have to take this battery off of there and clean up that connector. So I guess I'll go ahead and take this into the kitchen. I got my little tool set there that I use to open that up with. But I'll take this to the kitchen counter, and maybe we'll do a little close-up on cleaning this thing, taking that battery apart, you know, just to see. Okay, so I brought it in to the dining room in here. I'm going to use my little pointer here, which is one of my probes that's attached to it. And right there, that battery came apart. It's corroded in this connector here, so that metal piece that's supposed to stay on here peeled off because it stayed there. So I'm going to see if I can get this battery out of here, and I'll try to do it without getting battery acid on me. I really don't want any battery acid on me. I probably ought to have some kind of eye protection too. Get out, bug. A little bug flying around bothering me. Get out, bug. Arr. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can get that off of there. Could be just corroded so much that it just ain't going to come off. Don't want to damage the connector. I don't mind damaging the battery itself. I just don't want to damage the connector here. Okay, it looks like it's trying to come off. And it's moving up just a pinch there. Yeah, there it goes. Ah, yeah, there it goes. Alright, it's not corroded too bad. It was corroded just enough. Anyway, hopefully the next battery won't do that. But I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to get a Q-tip, and I'm going to clean all this up down in here because it looks like little flakes of it kind of fell down in there. I'm going to clean up all in there with a Q-tip and this connector here as well. I've got two Q-tips. I've wet these two ends, and these two ends are dry. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to work on this thing first, because, you know, I just feel like it. So anyway, I'm just going to give it a good wipe down, kind of a little scrub here, all the way around. Going to loosen up, get off of there anything that I can get off of it, any kind of corrosion, anything like that. Doesn't look to be too bad. It's got one little spot there that wants to hang on to this. If you can see good, it looks like it's turning a little blue there. It's because the corrosion. Get it down in the middle there. I'll try to get as much of that off of there as I possibly can and clean it up, because if there's any corrosion on there whenever I put the new battery in, then it'll want to continue. Alright, so now I'm going to use the dry side. I'm just going to kind of go through here and kind of dry it up, clean it up with a nice clean dry Q-tip. And just get it on the inside of it there too, the best that I can. Alright, so I'm going to set that one aside. Now I'm going to use the other one. I'm going to go ahead, everywhere in here that I see any of that green stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a little wipe. And when I say that green stuff up in here, it's because when I was trying to get that thing off of there, it kind of flaked and kind of went all down in here, in bed here and there. So I'm just trying to get it up the best I can. It'd be better to get it up the best I can than to leave it in there, because any kind of corrosion that's in there will want to stay in there and cause more corrosion. So let me get that out of the way. You see how dirty it's getting? Because there's dirt all down in there. Some of that dirt may be just dirt that's collected over the years. But for the most part, it's the corrosion, that came off of that connector. All right, so now I'm going to use the dry side. I'm going to go back up over all this. Just to kind of give it a nice one over again and kind of dry it up, because I don't want it to be wet. I don't want it to stay moist in there, because I'll be putting this cover back on. And if there's any moisture in there when I put that cover back on, then it'll want to stay in there, and if it stays in there, then it may want to corrode, anything that it gets on, because moisture, causes, of course, rust, but on other types of metal, it causes different kinds of, like oxygenation, oxidizing, whatever you want to call that. And just get it dry as we can. I'm going to let it sit there for a little while and just let it dry. Alright, so these are dirty, so I'm going to throw these Q-tips away. You can see how dirty they were on the tip there. Okay, I let that sit for a little while and it dried up. And while I was doing that, I went and got me another battery. I had this one sitting on my desk, and so I figured I'd just go ahead and put that one in here. But also have another Ohm meter in there. This one, I've got the leads off of it on something else, but it works. See, it's got power. It's also got a battery in it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off of here, and I'm going to see if they work. That's what this one looks like. But I'm going to see if they work on this one. Which one do I put it on? Because that one's common. Let me turn that back over. Do it this way. 10 amp. Okay, yeah. So this one, that's what this one looks like. And the red was on that side and the black was on that side. Or that's common. So the black was there, the black wire, and then the red was here for 10 amp, or there for volts, ohms, amps. That's right. Okay, so that's where ground goes. See the ground symbol? It says max 500 volts. Common. And then over here, max up to 1000 volts DC or 750 volts AC. So the volts, ohm, amps there. This one looks like the commons on this side. That's the 10 amp max side, and then that's the fused 500 milliamp max volt ohm milliamp. So the red goes here, the black one goes there, and the red goes there, like that. For some reason that one don't fit right. Just kind of that up a little bit. There we go. Now it wants to fit better. Alright, so I'm going to move this down to that symbol right there, which shows the diode and the little speaker thing. And what that'll do is, if these are connecting in there properly, it'll tell me. Like, I was wondering if that was sitting in there right, but anyway, it should tell me if there's a short. Come on. Yeah, that's the reading you should get. Okay, well, good. All right, let me go ahead and turn that off. Pull those out of there. Put them back in. This one that I'm working on. So the common's in the middle on this one. And then the red on that side. Oops. Yep. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead, since this is all dried up and I got it wiped up, cleaned. It's pretty clean in there. Then, almost put the wrong battery in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this battery in there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just throw that battery on there. And put it in there. There we go. Go ahead and put the cover back on. Put the little screw in. I sure hope I hope you all saw all this, because I'm not sure what the camera's seeing right now. Alright, so that's in there. Close that back up. And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to turn it on. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. There's the diode and the speaker symbol. So I'm going to put it right there, and then I'm going to put these together. Make a noise. Either my hearing's gone or this thing ain't making a noise. Put over the AC and see. I'm not hearing no noise, but that's okay. That's fine. Oh, there it goes. Let me find a piece of metal. Do it across a piece of metal. Y'all hear anything? Is my hearing gone? There it is. Well, that's such a high-pitched squeal, I can barely hear that. Wow. I'm gonna have to go to the hearing doctor. I can hear it with my right ear. Okay, well, it works. Alright. Turn that back off. Cool beans. Alright, I'm going to end up taking that battery apart. put it on a paper towel because, you know, I don't know what's going to fall out of this thing. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to peel this thing apart. And I just got me a, you know, pair of pliers. I'm just going to sit and peel it apart. And just see, you know, what comes out of it. So I just kind of grabbed the metal right there and started giving it a twist. It's not very thick metal. I'm just going to see what I can do about getting that off of there. Just going to give it a slow pull, slow twist. I see little other little cells in there. Let me just give it a good pull here. Yeah, see that little edge there was kind of folded on and pressed on itself. And, oh, there we go. So, if you notice, there's other little battery cells in there. Let me take that little bottom cardboard piece off there. It's like a little corroded cardboard piece. And there's little cells, little battery cells. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in there, and they're attached in different ways. It's got plastic around it. Let's see if I can take that plastic off. And this thing here, like each one of these sides, when I lift it up like that, oops, that one kind of snapped. But this one's connected on this corner one here, and that one's connected on that corner one. So I guess it goes like negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, something like that. But each one of these little batteries is connected to each other. Let me cut through this plastic here. It's a nice little tough plastic. I'm glad to see it's tough. They like to make them tough, which I think that's wonderful. Whew, look at that. Okay, there's writing on them. I can barely make out the writing though. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, good. Whew, look at that. So you can see how they're connected. They're connected in series. Whew. So that's what the inside of a 9-volt battery looks like. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little batteries that are connected in series. When I say series, I mean one after another. Right. So from that connector to that connector runs through a series of 6 little batteries. Look at that. Now I'm going to have to throw that away and wash my hands because I've been touching it, and wash my pliers too. But that's what the inside of a 9-volt battery looks like. And these things, it's got writing on there, but I can barely read it. But I don't want to take those apart. It's getting a little deeper in than I really wanted to. Alright, so that's interesting, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead and pause it here because I don't know what else to say or what else to talk about other than wash your hands when you get done, because you don't want to be touching this kind of stuff and rub your eye, your battery acid in your eye, or on your clothes or whatever, or on the camera. So make sure you use a clean finger to turn that camera off. Talk to you later.